Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Marcie Besecker, an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, and it is Sunday at noon. Thank you for joining me. So as you guys know, we did a very long introductory video, an unboxing video with the new holiday catalog items. So we had the holiday catalog and the celebration. And that video went way longer than I expected. I walked out, my husband's like, did you just finish that? I go, oh yeah, it was 4 hours. He goes, it was 5 hours. And I'm like, what? I forgot I started an hour early. But I had fun. I would have done it anyway. I was going through and looking at stuff, and if I would have done it myself, I would have slowly put things together and look at them one at a time. And I may not have gotten it finished. I would have come back and had to keep going. But this way I threw everything on magnets, got everything in pouches, and got ready for a video. So I enjoyed it myself because I got to look and see and feel and touch everything. And I just shared it with you. So long video, but totally worth it. So I am glad. Hello, everybody. Hi, Nancy, Lee, Linda, Terry, Eileen, Diane, Deborah, Debbie. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Tashana. Okay, so I have closed captions that made it this time. I am so sorry that closed captions did not work during my unboxing. I clicked on it. I chose it. I don't know what happened. So you can always turn those off. The little CC button on the right, if you'd like to turn it off, you definitely can. Oh, good, Terry. Thank you. Hi, Crystal. How are you? Hi, Patty. Hi, Pamela. Laura, another Pamela. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Rebecca. So, and thank you guys so much for giving me a thumbs up on that video and all your comments. Ooh, I gotta set that up to do our drawing, don't I? Okay, 1 second. 1 second. I want to make sure I get this ready to go so we can do it later. Let's see. We got to open this video because I forgot. And let's see. All right, there's a way to do it. I should have remembered to do this, and I apologize. I think I have to go in here and go here. All right, hold on. I'm so mad I forgot to do this. And I know there's a way right here. I just have to find it. Darn it if I didn't forget to do that, set that up. So I'm going to do it now because if I don't, I'm going to forget. And I don't want to forget. So let me look here. I am so sorry I forgot this. Hi everybody, welcome. Hi Tina. Hi Arlene, Gloria, welcome. Okay, so give me 1 second. I just want to not forget to do this for you guys, and because we're going to do a giveaway, and it's going to be on the comments that we did. And I know there's an easy way to do it, but I haven't done it in a while. So give me a second. Gosh, I'm mad I forgot this. Right, Nancy Lee? It's called Water and Bread for a Month. All right. Okay, give me 1 second. Gosh darn it, I can't remember how to do this. And now all of a sudden I'm... Website tools. It's this other program that I use. And it's so simple, but I've got to find it. So let me look it up. I'm so silly that I forgot to look this up. And I want to do it before I forget. And I don't want to watch a YouTube video how to do it. It's got to be easy. Okay, does anybody else use TubeBuddy? I'm so mad I forgot to do this, you guys. Okay. Okay, we're going to revisit this. Don't let me forget. Okay. I will find it. Don't you worry. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I just wish I could find this comment picker really quickly. Okay, 2 seconds. I know it's right here. There's got to be a search button here. Ugh. All right. I'll find it. Don't you worry. But for now, let's just continue on and we'll get to it. I feel so silly that I didn't look that up, but we'll do it at the end. Okay, so yes, I've been not really playing with stuff. I have been trying to put things away, Nancy Lee. You're right. You can still see I have a stack of, I have my dies and my new paper. The paper behind that is my old paper that is going on my retired items on my blog. So if you're looking for anything old paper stamp sets, go to my retired items. Same place you would sign up for your classes and things like that. Look for retired and it's on there, and there's stamp sets and paper and some stuff there. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Nancy Lee. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen my unboxing, it's a very, very long. So get some lunch, something to drink, and check it out. Okay, let's go on my list here. First thing's drawing. I think I would have remembered. I wrote that the other day, though. Bingo. So bingo is on the 21st. I need to look into, once we're done with bingo, I need to send you guys out your kits, right? Well, the issue is there's a lot of, it's holiday. It's a holiday theme. So it's going to take me a little time to get everything prepped and sent out. And I'm planning on sending it out the very last week of the month because it's holiday item stuff. And I don't think I can send that out to you ahead of time. I'm going to double check on it. If I can send it out earlier, I will. And so a little bit, and I think I mentioned that before, that it just kind of, I wasn't thinking I should have done it in July, but we're probably doing holiday in July too, or some anyway. Okay, so there's that. Lunch bag. So during my live, we were talking about, does the mini fit in this cute little lunch bag that comes with a stamp, kit inside of it, and it's like a canvas. It's very nice. It does. However, the handle sticks out. The good thing is there is a zipper on both sides. So make sure you zip from one side. So from here, zip all the way around, and then your handle is stuck outside. You don't want to try and shove it in there. You don't want to hurt your handle, and you don't want to tear your bag. So if you just need it, it's very sturdy. It doesn't feel too heavy or anything. So if you do want to use this for your mini, you can. Oh, thank you, Dara. It's getting there. My den that still had boxes in it will be cleaned this week because we're having a baby shower next week and a bunch of family over and stuff, and it's on my to-do list. So Wednesday's iffy on a video. I've got a lot to do for the shower. I'm going to plan on doing one, but we're going to see what happens. So I have some stuff over here to go through, some big boxes and some stuff out there, and then I'm done. And then my plan is towards the end of June to do a tour of my room. So we'll get there. We will get there. Okay, so the other thing we have going on in June is the paper share. You can still sign up for the paper share. I cannot order this until July 1st. So you have until the last day of this month on the 30th. And then you could get a little bit of all your papers, and then you can touch and feel and look at them, and they're so much prettier in person. They truly are. Let's see, too bad they didn't have it so that the handle would fold in. You know, Crystal, I was thinking about that when I put it in the bag, but then I wouldn't want it to be wobbly or anything when we were using it. So you could take the handle off. So if you're traveling somewhere and you want to put it in there for a good travel, like to put in your suitcase or whatever, you could take the handle off and then just put it back on. That's what I would recommend. I wouldn't try and squeeze it in the bag. Okay, and so paper share and then the U2 picker. I wrote that down. So I will, don't let me forget, we're going to do that. But we are going to create this card and we're going to go from the beginning. So I did very little ahead of time because I showed this card to somebody and she wanted to know how I colored it. So we will be doing a little bit of coloring today. But the fun thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to use the Fond of Autumn and the dies. The dies are kind of crazy because you've got this die, you've got your outline die, of course, for this, and then you have this die, okay, and then you have your little dies. So we're going to use everything, and I'm going to kind of show you how to do it, and we are going to go from there. So the first thing we're going to do is let's just get a little bit of stamping done. I'm going to use my stamparatus. I like to put a stamp on one and then put the other stamps on another one because I don't mind if they're on this too, but then when you lay them down, if you have two panels and you're able to, I even have a second stamparatus that I like to use the panels with the same stamparatus. So if I'm doing a whole bunch of stamping, then I will pull out my second stamparatus and just pull off the panels. So I'm still using this, and sometimes I do put them on the other side, but you don't have to. I could have put these over here, and then I could put the other ones on here. It just depends on how many I have, but sometimes you've got, you know, 2-step, 3-step, and there's a lot of things. So that's kind of what I do. All right, so let's just pull this. We've got all new product on this. So let's just put this here. And I chose to do this in early espresso and not in black. So early espresso is what I used. All right, so I always like to have either a card case or a stamp set underneath, or a stamp ink pad over here underneath. All right. And then I just like to make sure it's very inky. All right, so let's stamp that. Look how pretty that is. Okay, and then we're going to stamp, let's wipe this off before I get brown on everything. My phone's blowing up about baby shower stuff, so I'll just have to read it later. All right, here we go. Now I did do the bottom one, the label in black, and not on purpose or accident. I just did. We're going to do it all in early espresso this time. And here's another piece of paper. Okay, so see how I got the ink in the middle here? Just don't press too hard. There are little dashes in this. So you're going to see as this comes up, it's got a little dash. I was thinking, oh, I missed a spot. But that's how the stamp set is. So just be careful when you do that. Don't think, oh, I got to press harder to get those lines. There is a little space in those, which I think is really, really neat. Okay, so let's take this out. So that's those. All right, so now we are going to move on and do some coloring. Oh, Carol, I'm so sorry. Well, I appreciate you watching. You take care of yourself. We'll be here. Okay, so I did pull a big mat in because we're going to be doing a lot of coloring and some die cutting. So what I have here is I have my thick basic white, which is an A2 size. And then on the inside here, we're going to do 4 by 5 1/4 and then 3 3/4 by 5. So we'll do that. I'm not going to adhere them yet. We'll do that as we start assembling. The same on the front is what I did, is I did a 4 by 5 1/4 and a 3 3/4 by 5, and we are going to emboss this. So let's just do that now. We're going to use the Leaf Fall 3D folder, which is a new folder. So let's just pull in. I'm going to show you. There's a lot of people, sometimes I get comments that not everybody gets to see or knows how to use the platform and everything. So I'm just going to bring in my number 4, which is for embossing, and this one has directions here. So you have your panel here. Right here it says use with 3D embossing, so read these. So we're going to use number 1 and number 4. So we have, this is number 1 and this is number 4. So we are going to put our card in, and if you notice, the leaves fall kind of this way, okay, on the card. So it just depends on what you want. I kind of want them to go, I think I'm going to change this one up because I was going to have it go portrait, and I think we are. Let's do portrait this time. I kind of want to do something a little bit different. What do you think? Oh, I don't know. I like the sentiment the way it's going, so we're just going to go like this. And just kind of put it on there. I try to make it somewhat straight, although it doesn't really matter with this pattern. The closed edge of your folder will go towards the top. And then just put your number 4 on there. And this is for the 3D one. There's another one too, so you can look at your directions here. If it's not a 3D, you're going to do this one, and you're going to put your number 3s on, not your number 4. All right, now look at this. Look how pretty that folder is. It's so pretty. So there we go. That's our new Leaf Fall 3D folder. Okay, we'll move this for right now. I'm going to turn my, let me try something real quick here. Okay. Now let's bring this in. So this is going to go right on top like this. Okay. So when we get it all put together. But let's do some coloring really quick. And I'm going to do it kind of quick so you'll see. And I'll just call the colors out as I do them because there's several colors that I use. So right now I'm going to use Old Olive. And I'm going to do all the smaller leaves. I start with the dark. Here, let's do this. Dark Old Olive. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to bring you in a little closer too. Oh, this one won't. Oh, they're curved. I never noticed that. Okay, so Dark Old Olive is what I'm using. They're curved, so you can't just set them like that. Okay, so maybe that'll help a little bit. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I go down the middle of the line, and then I kind of just fill in the bottom a little bit. So down and a little bit. So just go down like the vein of the leaf, and then I just fill in. Now you could shade to a side, so it can look like, you know, it's shadier on one side than the other, but I'm just going to go straight down, and I just fill the bottom in. Just a little bit. Now, I do not go on and do all of them at the same time. I'll do like a section just because I want this. I don't know why. I just feel like this is fresh, and if you add onto it, it'll stay, it'll just blend better. That's probably not true, but that's just how I do it. Because these leaves are next to each other, I'm going to go and do a little dark right there, and then some dark at the bottom. Is this close enough for you guys to see, or should I come closer? All right, so that's the dark, and now we're going to come in with the light. I tend to use the point a little bit more than the brush. I just feel like I have better control, especially when these are such a little spot, and I'm just going to color it in. I don't go over the bottom part, the dark, too much, but just enough to kind of blend it. And mostly the edge. Okay, so I'll pull it up and show it to you. Okay, and then just turn your paper. Again, I just kind of go in little circles on the dark spot at the bottom. And then around the top. Same here. When I get to the tip, I tend to go backwards because I don't want it to bleed out the end of the leaf. Okay, and that's not blended at the bottom as much as I'd like, so I'm just going to do a little bit more. All right, so there we go. So there's that. Hi, Robin from San Diego. Okay, so now we're just going to keep going. So we'll do that. Like I said, I just kind of go section at a time. It's easier that way too, so you don't forget something. Just kind of fill it in. Okay. I'm going to skip these larger leaves and do something different with those. So we're going to start up here. Again, just go down the vein, and I just do a little bit at the bottom. Just gives them a little more depth and a little more, I don't know, like it's doing something, some shading. All right, I'm going to start at this one, at the top. And you're not trying to blend the dark all the way up. You're just kind of blending the two colors together. But having that vein dark just kind of adds a little bit more. I'm trying not to get my hand to rub on that, even though I know it's dry. I just don't want to get anything on my image here, or ink all over me. Although it's alcohol, it's probably all nice and dried by now. So a lot of people get really intimidated by coloring, and it's really not that difficult. It really does just take practice, and I am definitely not an expert. I mean, I look at other people's and go, oh my gosh, why can't I do that? It's just, that's just how it is. But I mean, I'm better than what I used to be because I forced myself to do it. And also watching people color, you know, helps. So yes, my level may be higher than some of you, but there's definitely people out there that I watch so that I can learn to improve my coloring too. So it's always a learning process, right? And it's funny because there's so many things, and not just coloring, but there's so many things you can come back to by watching other people. And you're like, oh, I did that a long time ago. I should try it again. Like I used to do bleaching. And I used to do, I did napkins for a long time because I just thought it was really cool. And if you're looking for a specific theme, sometimes that's kind of the easy way to go. And it kind of gets you into crafty. You're still using paper, you're still using ink. And so that's a lot of fun. I think they do it differently now than what I used to. So it's just a matter of, you know, techniques change and they evolve, and it's a lot of fun. And it's so hard these days to do something original. It's when you get to do something that fanciful, it's either something that you remember back in the day, or that you've seen years ago, or you've seen recently. But it's been around for a long time. However, I like to give credit. If you see somebody do it, even though you've done it years and years ago, it's nice to say, oh, I just saw so-and-so do this. Been around for a while. I've done it before, whatever, but it reminded me of it, so that's nice. Okay, so now I'm going to do Mossy Meadow. And same thing, we're going to go down the lines. So just go down the middle and then just kind of fill in your lines here. And you're going to think, oh, the dark, light Mossy Meadow is pretty dark, but you'll see it does work out. You don't have to shade if you don't want to. I like to go to one of the sides on the larger ones and just add a little bit of shading, and you don't have to go all the way up, but I just like to add a little bit like that. Same thing here, and it doesn't have to be exact, just kind of draw your lines as close as you can to what's on there, because otherwise you're going to see the lines. Okay, I'm just going to shade up a little bit, and I will do this one too. Okay, be careful because that's your acorn. So you don't want to go on your acorn. Is my head in the way? Hopefully not. All right. Oops, we got to do. So I did the left side, so we're going to do the left side over here too as shading. Kind of like the shades that way. Okay, you don't have to add a whole bunch. And now make sure you're grabbing your Memento and not your old olive. Oh, sorry, I have a runny nose. Okay, so now we're gonna just, I like to start with the dark and then just kind of blend it. You don't want to go too close to the edge, so make sure you're kind of coming inward with that. Because you want it not to bleed out. I tend to go around the edges just to make sure that I don't go up that close when I'm filling in. And now I just kind of do circles. That's just how I do it. Okay. So now you can see that one. Let me go back up here a little bit. How it's kind of shaded a little bit on the one side. And you can bring that in if you want and do more. And it really doesn't take that long to add just a little bit of the darker color of whatever you're using, either as a shade or most of our stamp sets, if they have the little hash marks in it or whatever, use that. And you'll see me do that on the flowers. And that's like on the distinctive stamps and stuff. They really give us a lot to work with on those. Remember, turn your paper, not your hand. Now the other thing you could do is you could find a piece of fall paper, whatever we have. Look in there and see if there's anything that looks good to you. And do these colors towards one of the papers. And then that would look really pretty too. What color are the leaves? These are Old Olive, light and dark, and this is Mossy Meadow, light and dark. Okay. Now for the berries, I chose Sweet Sorbet. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the dark first. And these, they're so little, I can do them all at one time. So I'm going to do the spot on the end, and I'm just going to do a little bit on the base. Okay, so it's just going to add a little bit of shading. So no particular way. And I know sometimes you're like, oh, I did all that. You really can't see it, but you can kind of tell. Sometimes when it's so little like this, you can't tell, but I do it anyway. So it's just up to you. Okay, so there's the berries. And now we're going to take the light one and go back and just fill it in. And it is really, the colors are a lot the same. I can kind of see a difference, but not a lot. But once it lightens up, because these, you know, your markers will lighten up just a tad, you can see the difference. I'll show you on the other card. So I don't do a lot of blending because it's such a little spot. I just fill in the berries. But I like the Sweet Sorbet instead of a red, just because it's just a softer color. Okay, so look at the difference. So here it is, just now colored. But look up here, you can see, can you see the little bit of shading difference on there? So it's going to lighten a little bit, and you're going to be able to see. I mean, if you look at even the green, see how they're going to lighten up a little bit. So just keep going. Okay, so now what I did is I took soft suede, and I have, where is it? My light Cajun Craze. Okay, so, and you're going to use your crumb cake. Okay, so the first thing I did is take your dark soft suede, and I just kind of went around the outside of all the top of the acorn. I just went around the outside just loosely. You don't have to go completely around. Okay, so I just kind of did that on all of them. You don't have to go all the way. Just kind of add a little bit of dark on there. Okay. And then I'll show you a little thing that I did at the end here. Okay, so that is the dark. Oh, go down your lines right here on just lightly. On your acorn, there's some little lines there. I just went down there. And now take your light soft suede and fill in all the little tops. I want to say they look like little blackberries, or raspberries. So just fill in all that at the top. So because you didn't go all the way around everything, you just lightly did it. See how now you can see the colors? Hi Becky, how are you? Okay, now I took the light crumb cake and I put it on. Oh, you know what? I didn't do that first. I did the light soft suede. Do it on the bottom. I'm just going to do it like I did. And once I did this, I said, oh, that kind of looks dark. So I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, so do that. I also took the light and I went on your little swirls. I just added the little swirls. Just go on there. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just think adding that little bit of color helps with toning it down a little bit, not having black. I did the stems coming from the acorns. I did those brown also. Okay, now I took the light crumb cake and I decided I wanted the bottoms just a little bit lighter. And so I just kind of went like this. So think of this as like the white blending, the color lifter. Because it's lighter, it's just going to move that color around a little bit. So I just made it a little bit lighter by adding this. So I just kind of went back and forth a little bit and it just made them a little bit lighter, which I liked. Now you're going to notice because I did Cajun Craze here and on the sentiment, I kind of needed to pull Cajun Craze in a little bit. So what I did is I took the light Cajun Craze and I just did the same thing as I did with the dark color. And I just added a little bit around these little toppers. So just kind of go around just a little bit. And I didn't want to not add the dark because I think that just makes it richer looking. So I'm just going to go over. You don't even have to go over all of it if you want. You just want to kind of add that Cajun Craze in there. Okay, so now see how I added that? And it just kind of makes the tops pop a little bit more, right? All right, and I did Cajun Craze along this edge. It looks like it didn't stamp exactly right, so I'm going to add a little bit of this to darken it. And I'm going to take the darker one and just draw in my little lines like they were there. Now I can't even tell. Perfect. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take, I did white pumpkin pie, and I'm going to do the lines and the flowers. Okay, so these are kind of, again, lines that they give you for making them a little bit deeper, a little darker. So I'm going to do all the flowers. Okay, now I decided I want to do the dots too. So you can dot them. I just kind of lightly just go over them because we're going to blend them up anyway. So you don't want to do them super dark because we're going to add a little bit more to it. Okay, you could do the center, just do like a little circle. All right, so there we go. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit more there. Yeah, it's noon is my regular time, Linda. Okay, so now we're going to bring in, and I think I've already used all these. The only one I don't think I used is the dark Cajun or the dark crumb cake. Now we're going to take the dark So saffron, and now we're just going to we're going to do the middle. Okay, so we're just going to blend that over, and now we're just going to kind of go up the lines and around the base, up the lines and around the base. Okay, so that's what I mean. You're going to go up the lines and around the base. Okay, so again, color the middle, go up the lines and around the base. So I just kind of go longer where the lines are and then stay at the base. And again, this is kind of your shading. Color the middle, Okay, so at this point, I decided I still needed some of my Cajun craze. So I brought this back in and I did the dots around the middle. And I just deepened that a little bit. So see how these are just a little bit darker. So just go around a little bit darker and just we're bringing that Cajun craze in a little bit more to our project. And you don't have to go up the lines. You could if you wanted to. And then we're going to bring in the soft So Saffron. And then I start from the top because I want that lighter. And then kind of work your way down. You don't have to go to the center. But you are blending the lines that are on your petals. You don't have to go to the bottom, but it doesn't really matter. So if you decide to use your brush tip and you go across the middle, it's not going to hurt anything. Okay, and then this one. Okay, so now your image is done, but we forgot these. So we're just going to do these super, super quick because we need them for our project. And once my friend said, how did you color those? I was like, all right, I'll just do that on screen. So, oops, that light. So see, if you just did this, the two colors, it kind of looks boring. Let's do our stem. Take our light Cajun. All right, so there's the light. And then our crumb cake. Okay. I feel like I'm doing them backwards. Upside down. We're going to do dark mossy meadow. I'm just doing a little more on one side. Light mossy meadow, fill it in. And then our flower, which is going to be Old Olive. And then our light Old Olive. Remember, these are alcohol markers. The other ones are stamping blends, which are not alcohol. They're the same as our ink pads are. Okay, so there's that. We're going to take our pumpkin. All right, and we're going to take our dark So Saffron. See how fast it can go? Once you know what colors you want, that's the thing, is figuring all that out. We're going to do our soft, our light So Saffron. We just have to add our light Cajun Craze in there. Okay. And if you wanted, you could take your light, your brush, and just kind of go around and blend that just a little bit, and you're done. So this is the new catalog. Yes, this is in the new catalog. But the dies are what is just crazy about this set. So, all right, so we have that. And now let's take our sentiment. Happy thoughts of you, sending many thanks. I'm always sending thank you cards, so let's choose that one. All right, I'm just going to put that on a block here. Oops. Well, that's not straight on there, but that's okay. We can see through it. All right, so those were all the colors here, and I will list everything. I did not do a supply list yet, but I will get that. Oh, I can't do, I'll list the colors though. I'll put the, let me write that down. Okay. I can add those on there. All right, so get this nice and inky. Okay. Oh, my head's probably in the way, sorry. All right, so there's our sentiment. Now the die, I have to tell you, when we cut it out with the die does go one way versus it does not go both ways. So be prepared to kind of figure out your die. Okay, so now, let me move this out of the way. We're going to bring our machine in. And so there's a couple things I want to show you first. So let me grab a piece of paper and we're going to grab the dies. And so this outside die, of course, would cut this full thing out right here if you wanted it in one piece. Okay, that's easy enough to understand. This one right here, let me run it through the die machine really quick on this paper. So one of the examples in the catalog has it cut out over here and has it right here. So they just did two. I'm just going to do one to show you. So let me do that. And I'm just going to run it on the machine here really quick. And because it's so delicate and intricate, I'm going to run it through 2 times. I'm going to run it forward and backward. Okay, so let's see. I put a little shim on top because it's so intricate. I want to make sure it gets everything. And I'm going to do this over the trash. Hold on. Because it will make a mess like it did during my video, right? Okay, and then I'm going to use the brush on it. So because you can see all of the little pieces there, I'm just going to use a brush. And I'm brushing it from the back side. And using that little paper shim really helped a lot. I'm not going to get everything out right now, but so that is what it looks like if you were to do it just on the back. And that's what this die does. Okay, so this die, it cuts it inside the paper. Okay, so that's what that one does. So it gives it a really cool background. So if we had gold glimmer paper back there, how pretty would that be? So that would be really cool. So that's what that die's for. See, and you could put another one here. See how it kind of comes down over here and the other one would come up. It would be super cool. So that's what that die does. This die, let me grab the machine because we're going to bring it over so I can show you. And we'll cut everything out. Can you see? Let's see. I'm going to pull this up now that my coloring's over. Okay. So this one we're going to put on here. Oh, let's do this. Sorry, my laptop is in here across the room and it's also dinging. Okay, so this, we're going to use these. And because they're little, I'm going to add tape on them. We have this one and this one. Oops. I don't usually try to do 2 at a time, but you know, during a video, I'm trying to hurry for you guys. You don't want to be here another 5 hours, right? Okay, so let's get this on here right. All right, we're not going to do that. All right, there's one. So this is removable tape. I have it on a tape dispenser in here, and I just love it. When I'm done with this, I will put it back on the edge of the tape dispenser because it's fresh tape, and they will work a couple times, actually quite a few times. All right, so there's that. Now, if you look at this here, see how it's just not fitting quite right? Like it's a little high on one end, a little low. So just turn it over and it fits perfectly. Okay, so you want it to fit perfectly because it does kind of have a little bit of a different angle. This one, you're just going to line it straight up. Now, what I didn't notice at first is if you look here, these flowers do not touch this part. Same here. These leaves here do not touch. They're separate pieces, right? So we're going to put that on there. I like to just try to make your pieces as much as you can. Have your white all the way, you know, the same, as close as you can around. And sometimes it jumps a little bit, which is why I like to put the tape on it. All right, when you're here, I like to just double check, make sure everything looks okay. And once you push this down and start it in, you'll be fine. Just don't lift up, and because you know things move around. Once I have it caught in there, then all right, so there's this. So here you go. Look at this. There's that piece, and this piece. Isn't that cool? So it cuts it out. So this is how it went. This flower went right here. Uh-oh, let's see. Yeah, right there. This flower or leaf went right, let's see, where was it? Right here. Right there. Right here. And this one went in there. Isn't that crazy? So that went in there. So they gave us just enough white space in between everything to use a die that cuts out the different sections. So now you could just use the flowers for something if you wanted. You could just use the acorns, or you can use this here. And I think this with that apple set would be really kind of cool to make apples like if far in the background as part of a tree or something. So here we go. We have our extra leaf that we need. Let me put this back on because these fit nicely right in here. So we have our little extra leaf. And our flower. I can't believe all of a sudden I'm brain dead on where my comment picker things at. So I have to find that for you guys. If I can't find it, I'm going to post it on my Facebook page. So I will definitely do it right after the video. But I'm going to try and look again. If you guys will be patient, when I'm done here, I'll find it. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to bring our card in. But see, like, for example, if we decided to use this part, look how pretty that is. And so you could, you know, put this in the background, and then you could just do something like this in the center, you know, or whatever you wanted. But look how pretty that is on the background of stuff. So it looks like it's just a die, but so pretty. Oh, let me check something out here. What if we did this in the background? Let's see, here's the berries. Let's see what it looks like. I don't know if I like this. No, because it covers up the flower. It covers up the flowers a lot, so you don't want to do that. Can't see it very well. But anyway, that's really cool. All right, so let's do the inside. Let me bring my little mat back in because we're going to do a little bit of gluing. All right, so let's do our glue here. We're going to add this to our center, our inside. All right, and then what I did is we're going to add this, just this little leaf right here. And on this card, it's on this side because I was thinking the card was this way. So I'm going to put this one where I wanted to put it, which is just right down here on the corner. And I'm going to rub that little extra glue off. Okay, so that's done. So you don't have to decorate it like super fancy. I like when I layer up the inside of the card on a white card base and add some color. And then I feel like on the inside, on the bottom, you don't have to put so much. And this would have been really pretty on a craft card also, but I wanted to layer it with the crumb cake. And I just thought there's a lot of white that you can see, so I thought the white looked good. So we're going to do that. All right. Oh, look at what I did. The same thing, because it's landscape. It should have been over here, but that's okay. All right. So that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Now we're going to do our gluing of our panel. So then I like to bring in regular glue. Let me see if I have enough in here. I don't use liquid as much as I used to, like unless it's embossed. Or something that I kind of need to maneuver around, like a thin panel or something, or like a sentiment. Okay, I probably don't have much left in there. Let's do this one. Thank you everybody for watching. I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Helps my channel a lot. All right, so let's get this panel in. All right, so there's our panel, and we can go ahead and put it on the card because we're not going to be tying a ribbon or anything like that around the panel. So I'm good at adding that now. Okay. You need to move it over. You got to move it over quickly. Do you see I had a little bit too far over here? But if you don't move it quickly, you're not moving it because it will stick. I do too, Angela. All right, so there we go. Now you just have to kind of decide, well, first I know I want dimension on everything. So where is it? Okay, so here's this. I think I have a small one in here. Yeah. Then I'm going to put a small one on the berries, and then a small one on the end of the leaves, a small one on the end of the leaves here. I'm going to do a large one on the acorn. Okay. All right, and I think, oh, let's put another one. What the heck? Because it's going on top of an embossed image, I think I'd rather put a little bit extra just to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. That one, and a small one right here. Okay, that's good. All right, so we have everything except our sentiment. We need to add our make sure everything's secure. This one we're going to kind of lay over popped up items, so we're not sure what's going to hit, what's not, so I want to put a good amount on this one also. Okay. Oh, well, hello, Robin. Welcome. Hello, Renee. My daughter's coming to visit from Oregon this week. Yay. It's going to be a busy week. Okay, so remember when I showed you guys this twine? And this is called threaded twine, and it's threaded because it has silver in it, right? So I'm just going to take a piece about this big. So I just want to cut that. And then I'm going to take the silver out of it. So what I used on here is what I used during my video, and I showed you guys that we unthreaded it. So let's do that. I'm going to unthread this end, and I'm going to pull out the silver because I don't want silver. If it was gold, I would probably leave it in, although I am more of a silver person. But look at that, could be tinsel on a Christmas card. All right, so let's move that. Okay, pulling out tinsel. All right, I think I have it all out. So we're just going to kind of unravel the ends. Now, unlike the other, this one will not unravel in the middle unless you unravel it, because it's pretty tight, the thing. And then turn it around and do the other end. So whereas the other ones I would tie a knot in the middle so that it wouldn't unravel, this one you don't need to. Okay, but I'm gonna go down to kind of the middle. So I'm gonna leave, you know, enough that's not unraveled. Okay. And then kind of figure out where you want to put everything. I'm guessing I want the acorns to hang down, kind of like I did there. Now we could have turned the card and done it a little differently. Let's see. You know, it's all in what you want to do with it. But I wanted all the images to show, so you could, you know, kind of do something like this and add the berries coming out of it. And then we could add our sentiment like this. I just don't like the sentiment when it's a long banner to hang out there doing nothing. And we could kind of turn it, but I still think those need to go that way. You know, I mean, you could change it up if you wanted, but I really like the the landscape. So we're going to do this, and we're going to just add this right about there. So what I did is I just took a glue dot, I took two, just the width of your knot part right there. I'm going to do 3 because I think I did them too far to the right. Okay, and then you're just going to add this. I'm doing it sideways, kind of right in the middle. You can manipulate this later. All right, so the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to add our acorns right about there. So let's take all this off. All right, and we're going to do it just right about there. Okay, and now let's take this one about there. See, they don't have to hook to each other. You can kind of spread them out a little bit. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. You're so sweet. All right, so, and then you can kind of, you know, put them under, put a couple under here, you know, you can kind of bring some down. So it's whatever you want, and we'll play with it when we put the sentiment on. So let's take our leaves with our berries. What I did is as long as I have part of it tucked underneath. This I wasn't too concerned about because we're going to be putting the banner right there. But this up here, I just want to make sure that part of it is underneath so it looks like it's, you know, connected. Same with this one. And we have another flower we're going to put over there anyway. Okay, so we're going to put this under. And it can go all the way up there if you want. I want to turn it outward to fill up over here. So as long as it touches somewhere, I'm good. Right there. And again, we can just kind of bring this up underneath the leaf. It's just kind of a fluff to fill in, right? You don't have to have it like any particular way. And then we can fix it once we put it all together. And now figure out where you want your sentiment to go. I wanted my acorns to show, so I kind of made it a little more towards the bottom to show the acorns, but you don't have to show all of them. And we're going to add some, so. All right, so now just kind of figure out where you want it. I'm going to put it right about there. I kind of turned it a little bit because I want to make sure I can read it. And yes, there are dimensionals right there on top of this, but this has the knot right there. So this kind of actually still lays flat because the knot is right under here. Okay, so we're going to have dimensionals there. And then again, you have your little wispies down here, whatever you've got. We've got a lot up there, so it doesn't matter if we're going to add some down here. Oops, I got 2. Take those off. And I'm just going to bring this in. I might turn it. Let's see. I might want my leaf to go up. Okay, so there's that. Nope, I don't like that. Why? Because it's covering up my berries right here. So I'm going to move it over a little bit. I want the red to kind of balance off each other. So we're just going to move this like right here. Okay, so I want to see my berries. And then our little acorn over here. I wanted it up on the sentiment, just kind of right there. There. So there's our card, but we need to add all of our fun stuff on it here. We're going to add our... So I brought in the leaf label and amber gems. So let's open those. I did the larger ones on the flowers, and these are faceted, we figured out. I remembered the word after you guys helped me during the video. So they're really pretty. They really sparkle. Then I'm going to go with the smaller ones. And I'm just going to add them around. Let's see, did I do? I did 5 and then I added this flower, so that's 6, but I was okay with that because over here there's 5 and then there's just 1 over there. But you can add, you know, more if you want. So there you go. And then you have your little leaf on the inside. Like I said, you could add more. You could, you know, do another one of these and or add one of those there and pull this up coming over here. You can do all kinds of things. So it's whatever you want. I'm not going to use Tencel and save it, so I'm going to toss it because it'll be hanging around my desk for months if I hang on to it. All right, I hope you guys liked it. This was a lot of fun. So yeah, these dies are super cool. I love the inside. This one right here is just so pretty. I'm definitely going to have to use that on my next card using this stamp set. This is not the stamp set I thought I would have used first. However, once I saw these dies and how different they were, I definitely wanted to give it a try and see what it was all about. So give me 1 second. I'm going to lower this really quick while I am looking for this darn raffle thing. And I know it's on here. I just have to find it. For all of you guys that participated, I wanted to find this, and I know it's here. I just cannot find it, which just drives me crazy. Oh, thank you so much, Carol. I really appreciate it. Thanks, you guys. Okay, I'm looking for the raffle stuff. Just hang tight because there is a picker in here, and I know I've got it. I just have to find it. And I know there's a way to do a drawing on here. I've done it. I just haven't done it in a long time, and I should have looked for it before I started this, and I forgot. So if anybody uses TubeBuddy, you can help me out on how to find my YouTube picker. There's not even a search on here. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. I have another idea. How awful is this? I should have looked this up. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. This is terrible. All right, you guys, if I can't find it, because I hate for you to have to sit here and wait while I'm looking for this. This is bad. Why don't I remember? Where is it? All right. Okay. I hate you guys having to wait. It's making me angry here. And it doesn't even give me a search button. I've used it before. Come on, where is it? You guys are awesome. Yeah, Rebecca, it is cool. I really like it. Hi, Carrie. Welcome. Well, okay, so I'm going to find it. I like to do it live, though. That's my only thing, is because I want you guys to see how it picks and all that good stuff. But it is just not cooperating with me. Okay, let me try one last thing. Hold on. One last thing for the winner. Why can't they give directions that are not? Oh, hold on. No. Oh, I'll just use YouTube. Okay, let me try that. Okay, B. Do I have to be in, this is terrible, in edit video or YouTube? All right, I think it's opening. You guys are awesome for waiting. I am so sorry. And now it says loading, 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 and nothing's happening. Thank you, Sharon. Oh, Carolyn, that's nice. It's going to be 108 next weekend. Is that crazy or what? 108 is just too much. All right, you guys. I can't even find the YouTube one. This is just terribly sad. All right, well, on Wednesday, I promise we're going to do the drawing. So I cannot find it. I can't even find the YouTube picker. I mean, I must be just so out of it right now because I cannot find it. That's awful. Okay, well, I'm sorry, guys. I got to go figure out where that button is. I know I've used both of them. I've used YouTube and I've used the TubeBuddy one, and for whatever reason, I can't find it. So I will look for it. I will find it, and we will do a drawing on Wednesday. Same drawing as I mentioned before, so I'm not going to re-say it unless you saw the last video and you know what it is. So, too hot for you. I know, it's going to be warm. They wanted to have the baby shower outside. I was like, oh, that's not going to happen. It is too hot. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I'm going to try Wednesday to be here. If I'm not here Wednesday, Sunday we'll do the drawing for sure. I'm so sorry, but I've got a huge baby shower I needed to take care of and do a lot of work. And my daughter's coming to town. But I wanted to try and do a video with my granddaughter, but they're coming back in August for a week. This is just a short surprise visit for the baby shower. So we're going to have to do that later. Okay, I am Barb, giver of the stamp press. Oh, okay, okay. All right, everybody, you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. And I will see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't know why I can't find that. It's driving me crazy. I will hunt it down right now and figure out where it's at. So sorry. And Terry, your prize is going out tomorrow. Okay, so Terry won one of these. The Crazy Press. So thank you for participating, and I will be giving another one of those away. That's what the prize is. So sorry I couldn't figure it out today. Again, if you guys want to participate in bingo, it's the 21st, and a paper share with the amazing holiday paper. And so both of them are up on my blog. So whoops, go to my blog over here and go to shop and look for what you want to. Click on the text. Don't just add it to cart. Click on the text so you can fill out the registration form and you can pay and everything all on the same page. All right, everybody, have a fantastic rest of your week. Bye, everybody.